will be some businessmen, some entrepreneurs also today. So when you discuss, keep that in mind. So that's why I'm not very strictly going by the networking policies as put forward by ICAI. But yes, once again, compliments to Dipti for running this particular series of programs for the benefits of many stakeholders. And for today, selecting a very important topic, networking. When you talk about networking, a very quick idea about networking guidelines of the Institute of Chartered Accountants India, because that is what I'm more known for. Last year, the Honorable President ICI made a particular group. He was of the view that, if India has to grow, then we have to grow the size of chartered accountancy firms. Because once you increase the size of chartered accountancy firms, definitely more and more domains can be taken up by that particular firm. They can serve small and medium businesses in a very effective way. At the same time, they can even take care of large business houses. And by way of that, we will be attracting more and more work from abroad. See, the Boston Consultancy Group metrics, if you look at it, Dipti, then it talks about two dimensions. One is increasing your share, another is increasing the size. Now, every point of time, you cannot increase the share. Maybe if Sukrati has some client, I take her client. Suppose Shweta takes my client and Dipti takes Shweta's client. And what is happening is we are impacting the share. The size is not increasing. Only share is becoming plus or minus. So when you increase your share, that means somebody else is losing that share. Now, maybe in a particular profession where only a few chartered accountants are there across the nation, it will be only plus minus, plus minus. I'll take up work of some chartered accountant, somebody will take from my side. So the growth is not going to be phenomenal. It's going to be marginal. As against that, if we increase the size of the market, then naturally each and every player, each and every professional, each and every chartered accountant is to benefit. Not only that, the business community is to be benefited a lot. And not only that, the most important thing, we have, this program is very, very nearer to 15th August. We can say that our nation is going to be benefited. See what happens. Let us take an example. Now, while Dipti was giving examples of a few people on networking, I'll just tell you a very simple live example which people can immediately feel, and that is IT industry, IT sector. What happened? Maybe somewhere in Hyderabad or somewhere in Bangalore, some few people got together. Some people get together with some small companies. Now what happened? In US, certain companies had huge work and they wanted to outsource a part of it. Now they found India as the best destination. Why? Of course, one is cost effectiveness. Second, Indians are hardworking. You can imagine an Indian speaking, an Indian listening on Saturday. Can you imagine the same thing in US? Definitely not. If I, Shweta, Sukrati would have been in US, then today we would have been in black attire, in some dance hall, maybe smoking, I hope not, but maybe something like that. We would have been into such a condition. While Indians can work very well, right? Longer hours, more productivity, cost effectively, and at the same time, when it comes to knowledge, when it comes to skill set, when it comes to competence, Indians have proved that they are quite good in their domain expertise as well as other aspects. Another plus point with Indians was we are very good at languages. One of the reasons is this is a nation with 400 languages. I'm sure all the people here, they don't only know one language, at least 3 or 4 languages we Indian know, right? At least 3 or 4 languages. And English is as good as our mother tongue. Of course, it is not, but we are so much we are so much linked with it. It is as good as our mother tongue. So we Indians had some advantage. So what happened? Some of the companies from US sent the work in India. Now, these people who started with small IT companies, they progressed, they flourished. Now, when you flourish, when you grow, then you have to invest into some systems, and then you do your ABC analysis, and then certain C category of items you cannot take up, looking at your cost benefit analysis. So what happens? Then the second tier company from India will come up, right? They will take up the C category item, because C category item for previous companies will be A category items for the new entrants. Now they will grow. They will grow over a bit of time. And slowly and gradually, like onion ring, we will keep on growing. And now you know very well what is the benefit of that across the nation. Somewhere in Hyderabad, somewhere in Bangalore, it started, and it was like so contagious. It unfortunately, like Corona, it you could see the influence of that across the nation. Now Sukrit is from Gurgaon; she knows very well. That is also the hub of IT industry, and naturally Mumbai is hub of everything effectively. So across the country, you have many small and medium IT companies employing 50, 100, 200 employees. Now just imagine, we are getting money from various part of the world. This is a beautiful example. Dipti, I'll give a very simple example. That is from my city, Surat. Surat, when I was doing my chartered accountancy, we did not have even 100 locally produced chartered accountants in Surat. I'm talking about 100 locally produced chartered accountants. That was my city. But today, we are sitting at a strength of 5,500 chartered accountants. We are the diamond capital of the world. We are the textile capital of India. Right? Soon, maybe, we might become the Milan of Asia. So why is it so that Surat grew so fast? The answer is, if any city has to grow, of course, Mumbai is one of the best examples for that, and Gurgaon is also. See, your city would only and only grow if you are getting money from outside the city. Money should be poured into the city. So because of the textile, because of the diamond, what happened? Money kept on coming within the city. Then it is moving, then it is rotating around the city in terms of real estate, in terms of many other sectors, right? But initially, money should come in. Please do understand. Take the same analogy. Take the same analogy. If India has to develop, then money has to come from other part of the world. And how do you think? What is the better route? See, either it can be products, it can be services. For products, we have our neighbors Chinese who are as of now dominating. As of now dominating. While I'm sure about it, in the decades to come, India will surpass China. But when it comes to service sector, Shweta, you will agree, we can say that in service sector, Chini come hai. Right? Chinese are still not up to the level where Indians are. They cannot match Indians. Of course, this is no comment on Chinese people. We do respect our Indian tradition and culture is to respect each and every nation. So naturally, we respect our neighbors. But the fact is that Indians are more productive. Indians are more analytical. When it comes to computation skills, Indians are better. They are very fast decision makers. And what about language? Wonderful. So what I'm looking at is, by way of networking, why the president I say was talking about. He was talking about if we grow the size of the Indian firms, it is not only that the Indian firms will be benefited, it is that the nation will be benefited. What will happen? 10 chartered accountants come together. Dipti will come together, Shweta will come together, Sukriti will be there, I will be there. 10 different people will come together. So we will have the benefits of scale. We'll have the economies of scale. We can have different verticals within the same firm, right? At the same time, what happens? We have different domain expertise. Somebody is good with income tax, somebody is with GST, somebody is audit. Forget that. Forget a particular domain expertise. We have different skills. Some of us are really very good when they go for field work. Some of us are very happy sitting back office. Some of us are very good with PR. Some of us are very good in drafting. So what happens? What happens? When you make a network, people with different attitude, different skill set can come together. I'll give a very simple example, Dipti, because you started with A.R. Rahman. One of my favorite also, of course, Sachin and Big B. You spoke about all the people who have been my favorites. So A.R. Rahman, I'll pick it up this way. Suppose Dipti is a wonderful guitarist. Shweta is a wonderful piano player. Say, for instance, I am a singer and Sukriti is very good drummer. Now we all are separate. What will happen? And when we come together, what will be the symphony? What will be the harmony? It will be an orchestra. You can have some of the best melodies. So this is the importance of networking, right? With this in mind, the President ICI wanted to ensure that Indian chartered accountants grow. One, the profession as a whole grow. Two, and three, the nation gets the benefit. The nation gets the benefit. If for IT sector, the entire world can look at India. If for IT sector, Dipti, can you imagine a single major corporate across the globe which has something to do with software and has no nexus with India? You will not find a single one. Now that is the luxury that we Indians have. Software is synonymous with India. synonymous with India. They cannot imagine. They cannot imagine without India. Tell me, Sukriti, if IT people of India are intelligent, knowledgeable, are chartered accountant less than them? Definitely not. The only thing is that we have been guitarist, we have been singer, now we are just trying to be an orchestra. So that more and more people from abroad, believe me, if 10 chartered accountants join together, maybe if we have in the audience people other than chartered accountants, please to understand this is only an analogy. If you are lawyers, 10 lawyers coming together. If you are architects, 10 architects coming together, right? So whatever field you are, if you come together, if you pull your resources, all the different type of resources, right? Whether infrastructure or technology or knowledge base or whatever, you will have the benefits of economy of scale. And what will happen? Now, Shweta, this is one common issue that we face, and that is after every session we take, today I'm just going to give a very quick remark, but otherwise, whenever I'm taking 2-hour session, after that, I'm sure some questions which are going to come. First, sir, I want to go into outsourcing. How do I start with? And I would tell, he would say, sir, if you have any context, kindly share. I would tell him if I have any context, I would give you or I'll take the benefit of it. Tell me, logically. So please to understand, we have heard about it. If mountain does not go to Muhammad, Muhammad has to go to mountain. Similarly, just sitting in Mumbai or sitting in Gurgaon, just listening to a particular program on Saturday, we believe that now we are going to be great network, and what's going to happen? Outsourcing going to come. Usko Hindi mein wo Mungeri Lal ke haseen sapne. That is what we say, Alice in the Wonderland, as we talk about. See what happens. Dipti, what is the right approach? 4 or 5 young chartered accountants can come together. Similar is the case with doctors or whatever the case may be. Now, when they come together, one of them can go out of India. And say 5 people are there. One will go out of India. And the remaining 4 will say, you go out, say to US, stay there for 2 years. Don't worry. You just look into your survival needs. Because we know that initial 2 years might be tough for you. Don't worry. We 4 will work in this firm, but the shares will be divided into 5 people. Within the 2 years, you make your network in US and start sending the work. The same logic I have seen. I'll give one simple example where a graduate from Surat, only graduate, BCom, and that also in a vernacular language, not English medium, Gujarati medium. That gentleman goes to US. He does some work in a legal firm. With 2 years of experience, he understands that some of the work can be sent to India. He calls his another friend who is also only BCom and tells that, can you hire 2 employees on my behalf? And if you can make him sit at your home, because I don't have any place. So the work starts with 2 persons. And Shweta, can you imagine within 4 to 5 period, for 4 to 5 years, the company grows up to 600. If a BCom can do it, then Dipti, what are you, me, Shweta doing? That's a question we have to ask ourselves. There are so many instances I have seen. See, 5 people coming together, one actually has to go to UK, one actually has to go to US, right? So that the work starts pouring in. And once the work will start pouring in, you will understand you will have to understand the culture of a particular country, right? You will have to tell me, Dipti, with just one meeting with me, would you give your work to me? Definitely not. But what has happened? I know Shweta for more than a decade. So she is very sure about it. If she will call me, she is going to get a good response. So what happens over a period of time? You develop relationship. And that is what one has to do in networking, right? The purpose of networking is not always to gain money. Please understand. That is not the ultimate purpose. That is, it's always going to happen. The purpose of networking is to meet different type of people. Knowledge sharing is one thing. Attitude sharing is another thing. Cultural exchanges is yet another thing. And ultimately, of course, that will lead to you being more creative, more innovative, a better solution provider. You can be a better team player, or maybe you can improve upon your soft skills, management skills. You can be more persuasive communicator. You can develop your vision. You can emerge as a charismatic leader, right? When you meet more and more people. And who knows, the end result is a big, giant corporate or maybe a good company. And ultimately, you get a great financial breakthrough. It is possible. It is possible. So this is in nutshell what networking is about. Regarding the guidelines that ICI framed up, the president made the group. Fortunately, I was the chairman of that particular group, convener of the group. We had 21 marathon meetings, Sukriti. 21. It was very difficult to convince all the members. This project was going on for more than a decade, and somehow it was not getting through. The president told me, "कि भाई कुछ भी हो जाए." In the Delhi, typical Delhi style, he told me, "भाई ये बहुत important project है, मैं आपको दे रहा हूँ, बहुत तकलीफ आएगी, लोग शायद बहुत परेशान कर भी सकते, लेकिन किसी तरह से आपको करना है, मुझे आप पे भरोसा." The president was very dynamic. He was just pushing me regularly. 21 long marathon meetings, and then ultimately we came out with the networking guidelines. In networking guidelines, we came up with 3 different models, which are more or less similar, but with the passage of time, we'll keep on adding different features to these models so that whatever model suits. See, somebody would prefer to stay in a bungalow, somebody would prefer to stay in flat. So we have to do all the various models, right? Somebody might prefer a pizza, or somebody might prefer maybe an idli. So we are trying to do different options. So there are 3 models. One is alliance model, another is network with lead firm, and another is network traditional. See, ultimately, Vipti, what we want is, we want people to go into mergers. Merger is a marriage, but because people would not directly jump into marriage, so we had given the option of engagement, that first you start with networking. And what we saw was, people are not coming for engagement also. So we finally decided, let us give in live-in, right? Live-in is another option, and that was alliance that we gave. At least start with alliance, come together. When you come together, you will have some positive and some negative things happening in your firm. 10 people coming together, you will have some positive experiences. At the same time, some bitter experiences. Kuch meeta, kuch kadwa. So you will learn from that. You will understand what type of people to be associated. You will not learn without you actually do that. Without actually jumping into the river or pool, how are you going to swim? So, you'll have to go through some bitter experiences, some failures, some, pluses, minuses. Then you'll emerge as a better alliance. And once you are comfortable with alliance, go to the network model. And maybe over a period of time, with your geographical presence across the nation, and then next step going abroad, or at the same time, having a metric structure with various verticals, maybe you ultimately convert yourself into a merger. This is the purpose of networking. But as I said, this is about the networking guidelines. Networking in general means being associated with right type of people. Now, to identify the right type of people, you have to meet many people, many wrong people also. Then you will come to know, see, actually there is nobody wrong. The only thing is that who is more compatible with us, right? Who is more compatible with us. So identifying them and sharing knowledge, sharing experiences, sharing management, and so many things ultimately, and culminating into maybe a bigger form, then can be a purpose. I'm sure Shweta is a very learned speaker. I have heard her earlier also in number of conferences. I'm sure she is going to provide some wonderful inputs on this particular topic, and members are going to be benefited a lot. I must thank Dipti and the team Gyanstation for providing this wonderful opportunity to start on this particular topic. And I'm sure it's going to be a great learning for all the people who have joined today. Thank you very much.
Country. Thank you. Thank you all. Here we end our today's session. Thank you all participants. Thank you all panelists. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay tuned, and rock. Thank you.
Thank you.